We have an incredible, high-definition map of the human brain. We can trace its biological pathways and monitor every electrical signal pulsing through its tissue. But we have hit a wall. Science can see the sparks, but cannot explain how a physical organ creates the subjective feeling of being you. This missing link is what researchers call the hard problem of consciousness. Dr. Jan Pallotti suggests a different approach. He argues that we haven't solved the mystery of how the brain creates consciousness, because the brain isn't the creator, it's a container. Searching for a thought inside a skull is a category error. It's like opening a radio chassis and expecting to find the announcer living inside the electronics. You're looking at the receiver, not the signal. To understand this relationship, imagine the brain as a house, and your I, your core awareness, as the person living inside. The house has windows and shutters. These represent our physical senses. They don't create the world outside. They simply dictate how much of that vast reality we are allowed to see. If the brain is injured or the body falls asleep, the shutters close. This changes your experience, but the reality outside the house remains exactly as it was. Under this model, consciousness is an independent space, and the human body is a biological filter, allowing us to navigate a small slice of it. This isn't just a metaphor. It's rooted in how we define space and time. Standard physics uses 4 dimensions, 3 for the space we move through, and 1 for time moving in a straight line. Pallotti's math suggests reality is actually 6-dimensional. He adds 3 independent dimensions of time to the mix, creating a much larger map of existence. In this model, a single now holds an entire 3-dimensional world of possibilities. Looking at this diagram of Pallotti's work, time branches out. From now, dotted lines represent different futures available at once. When you imagine the future, your mind interacts with one of these possibilities in 6D space, even before it manifests in our 4D world. By adding these dimensions, consciousness becomes a property we can map out geometrically, rather than a biological fluke. To move between these dimensions, we have to address the universal speed limit. Standard matter cannot travel faster than light. However, physics allows for theoretical particles called tachyons. These unique particles operate exclusively at speeds faster than light. This chart shows how energy behaves for these particles. On the right side of the divide, the tachyon curve remains stable. They don't just break the limit, they inhabit the space beyond it. Pallotti identifies tachyons as the physical substance that forms our thoughts. Since thoughts are built from these super-fast mechanics, our awareness naturally operates outside the slow-moving biological limits of the brain. This framework helps explain some of the most baffling human experiences, like those reported by patients who have nearly died. If the brain is a house, then clinical death is the moment the shutters are thrown wide open, removing the filter between the I and the world outside. In one medical case, a woman who had flatlined later described seeing the inner thoughts of her nurse, a specific, silent criticism that was never spoken aloud. Standard neuroscience has no way to explain how a brain with no activity can perceive a silent thought. Pallotti's model treats thoughts as real locations. In this grid, World 1 and World 2 are different outcomes. A thought is a path considered but not taken. The patient navigated into an adjacent square, where the nurse's silent thought was a real, perceptible event. These accounts suggest a pattern that aligns with the 6D model. They show what happens when human awareness is no longer filtered by the physical body. When we combine 6D math, faster-than-light particles, and clinical observations, then the entire hierarchy of the world flips. Consciousness is the foundation, and matter is what follows. Our individual human minds are not isolated islands. We are localized subsets of a unified web of consciousness. We don't solve the hard problem by looking deeper into brain tissue. We solve it by finally realizing that the mind is a permanent, geometric feature of the world we live in. If you enjoyed this video, please give a like and subscribe. And what would be really helpful would be some suggestions for future videos. Today's video was brought to you by Synestec Systems LLC, founded by Shane Persinger. Thanks for watching. Please join us next time as we continue to explore the boundaries of science and the mind.